with us that we've lost, the people that are here in this room, we've all been fighting because we know that our region needs opportunities. We know that we need to build a future for our children and our families. We know that we need to rejuvenate our towns and our cities. And we know that this was one of the best opportunities that we could have, that we may see in our lifetime. And we will not give up. Never. Today we are here to express our outrage over the decision from Governor Cuomo that he made on December 17th. And we heard the message loud and clear. The governor has no regard for the people of the southern tier of New York. None whatsoever.
He doesn't know where it is. He doesn't know where the southern tier is.
Has the governor been to your town?
Doesn't matter.
He flies in every now and then to SUNY Binghamton because that's easy and can come out. But the governor doesn't know where he is, where we are is exactly right. So listen, on December 17th, Governor Cuomo, relying on nothing more than junk science from his acting health commissioner, Howard Zucker, decided to ban high-volume hydraulic fracturing. The health commissioner used his non-existent children as an excuse for some of his findings. And what study did he rely on to make this determination? If you know, somebody tell me. He doesn't. There is none. Right? There were no studies whatsoever. There was some things where he was a little bit nervous about it. There were things where he said we have to look at this more. But he didn't look at what was going on in 35 other states. He didn't look at what was going on throughout our federal government and our EPA and our Secretary of Interior and our Secretary of Energy and what they've been doing. He didn't look at those things, and he just said, this doesn't look right for me right now, so I'm going to say no, this is not something we should be moving forward with. And the governor decided to rely upon that type of information to say we should not be moving forward with this opportunity in New York, despite the fact that 35 other states, that 35 other governors, that the President of the United States, that our federal government all support this opportunity. This governor decided, no, this wasn't right for New York. We don't need that. Do you agree with that?
No! If all the other states voted in the last election, we wouldn't be having this round.
No more Cuomo!
No more Cuomo! No more Cuomo!
No more
This decision defies all common sense and reason because it's about so many positive things. It's about economics. It's about jobs. It's about reduced taxes. It's about the environment because we're now reducing our greenhouse gases to levels we haven't seen since 1994. We are beating Europe's renewable program in the amount that we've been able to reduce our greenhouse gases in this country. So it's about clean air and climate change and energy independence and national security, all of the right things. All of the stars have lined exactly right onto upstate New York for this opportunity, and yet one man stands in our way, and that is our Governor Cuomo.
Throw him out!
So how does this decision happen?
What can we do?
How does this decision happen? That's the thing we wanted to talk about. And I think everyone, not a person on this planet, right, thinks that it's anything other than politics. And that's the most frustrating thing about this, is that a political decision is being made. This governor is playing politics with your life. He is stealing our property rights, and we're not going to let that happen, right?
No. How can we change it? How can we change it?
What are you going to say to Governor Cuomo?
Hello, Cuomo!
Cuomo! Get out! Throw him out!
Fire the bastard! Follow Bill's job!
Listen, I've got a statement from Congressman Hanna, who couldn't be with us, but Congressman Hanna agrees with us. He represents the 22nd District of New York in the United States House of Representatives. He represents Broome County, Shenango, Cortland, Herkimer, Madison, Oneida, Oswego, and Tioga. Congressman Hanna sent us the following statement. The governor's decision on natural gas production seems to be driven more by politics than sound science. Albany laws and regulations have held back the upstate economy for far too long, especially here in the southern tier in Binghamton. Across the board, New York should start saying yes to economic growth and jobs and stop searching for ways to just say no when presented with an opportunity. I hope the landowners, labor, businesses, and farms represented here today continue working towards making our region a more vibrant place, I stand by you as a partner in this important effort. United States Representative Richard Hanna. Thank you, Congressman Hanna. And then just last Friday, the federal government said they agree with you and disagree with Governor Cuomo. The United States Secretary of Interior, Sally Jewell, and I can assure you that the timing of this was not just by coincidence, but the United States Secretary of Interior, Sally Jewell, said on Friday that bans on hydraulic fracturing in certain counties and states, like in New York, are the wrong way to go. I think that localized efforts or statewide efforts in many cases don't understand the science behind it. What we need is sound science that is driving our decision making. This is our federal government telling in New York, we need sound science and bans are the wrong way to go. Sally Jewell, please talk to Dr. Zucker and our governor. Now, right, just last week in the inaugural address, Andrew Cuomo said that Americans are rightly disheartened and disappointed by the economic climate, and rightly so. While American capitalism never guaranteed success, it did guarantee opportunity. For too many, the dream of economic mobility has been replaced with the nightmare of economic stagnation. You've got to be kidding me, right? How is it possible that this governor is speaking those words and taking away from you the biggest opportunity that we will see in our lifetime? This governor is not only taking away those opportunities and stealing your property rights, but he is the reason for the stagnation that we have seen in our communities. In his inaugural speech, he said, look, we have to take a look at New York, the greatest state in the country that built the Erie Canal. Do you think we could build the Erie Canal today under this administration? It's never happened. And the point is this, right? So this state is a great state. We have the ability, we have wonderful minds in this state. We have the ability to get these things done. If we can do things like build an Erie Canal, we can build a regulatory program that protects the public, protects our communities, and brings this opportunity to New York and to the nation. Let's get that done. So look, at the JLC, we're continuing this effort. We're continuing our fight. We are exploring all of our options right now. But one of the things that we've got to do is we first got to have to see what the final SGIS looks like. We know that a decision has been made by the governor, but we don't have it in writing in that final SGIS. So before we make any decisions about options that we've got to look at that. But takings claims and actions against the SGIS and in Article 78, all of those things are things that we're looking at and are on the table. We are talking to our friends at the Mountain States Legal Foundation that are willing to help us, and they want to come in and join this fight. If you've got ideas on things that we should be doing, either legally or politically, or any other idea that you think will help this process, get to us and let us know. Just on December 16th, we had a meeting to discuss the town zoning issues. Right? This was the night before the decision was made. And I can tell you that the mood at the JLC was extremely positive. We had 73 coalition and town leaders there, all talking about how we were going to move forward with the zoning issues. Because after Middlefield and Dryden, all of our towns, or many of our towns, need to address their zoning. So we introduced the zoning initiative that we were going to roll out among all the other towns. And I'll tell you, we all saw that this was a pathway. So fine, the courts have said that the towns that want to have this, they can have it. The towns that don't have to have it. But let's move this process forward, and the JLC is ready to help with that initiative. We're also exploring other drilling techniques. So gas frac is something that we've been talking about for a long time, something that our friend Nick Schoonover was working on in Tioga County for quite a while with the help of Bob Williams and others. We've been working on things like nitrogen fracs and CO2 fracs. So all of those things are out there. All of those things are things that we should be able to move forward with in New York. So we still want to move forward with the process of hydraulic fracturing, but that's what this ban is about. The other techniques are there. Let's move forward. Let's see if our state really is committed to going forward with this process, allowing us to develop our resources, or if instead it's just totally against fossil fuels and is on to something else and I think there's something else, is these political aspirations that our governor had. But we're going to see that, and the JLC is going to continue to move that forward. So we're continuing to work. Most importantly, we want to make sure that you don't give up this fight. In 35 oil and gas producing states in this country, you are right. Right? We know you're right. You know the science. You know the process. You know what's happening just across the border because we can see it. Our families are there. Our friends are there. We know what's happening, and we also know what's not happening. The President of the United States and the federal government say that you are right. There's one man standing in your way at this point, and we must continue to engage him at every opportunity until we prevail. Thank you.